hai vợ chồng người ta cũng có lòng nói rằng thầy bây giờ có chùa muốn sửa sang lại cửa nẻo đó, chị em anh em nào giúp được 50-70 gì đó thì nếu mà mình giúp được thì đưa rồi tôi đàn ông tôi chuyển tiền để tiền nó khó lắm.
Sao đâu
đang làm đi, anh đang làm được rồi. Sao không? Ai tới chúng ta là có gì? Dẫn thì mình phải đi hết nào. Đừng không có ai mà phải ký tên vô ở cái số tiền xưa là tên vô đàng hoàng.
Phượng này còn đi làm cái đồ kìa thôi vậy thôi.
Cảm ơn sư cô. Sorry sư cô lại đi mà. Đang làm đồng chị nào sao? Ok, chị giữ cái cô này khe đi, không có bạn nha. Cô thắt khe đi, sạc thôi chị làm mà mấy cái tấu bảo này. Với lại chị ngay vậy nè, cô phải. Giữ đi sạc. Cô còn cái bàn nào để đây cho chị nghe. Cái bàn của ai? Bàn nằm này có gì vậy? Không thấy.
Cùng ông làm cùng 7 ngày
6 ngày rồi chứ mới 7 ngày. Nó nhiều quá 6 ngày.
ngày tới đây nữa.
Ngày không tính. Đây tay
Ngày hôm qua được làm cái nhà sửa nhà trời đâu
Nữa.
2 tuổi tôi có hai tuổi tôi chị hết là hôm qua tiếp tập about 15 đi hả? No, where did I told you? Morning today. Hai vợ chồng của vợ mà 4 6 8 anh thôi chơi phê rồi.
Hey.
11.
Only this one and this one.
Why I said no, I said with you.
No. You buy something tonight for Guru. No. You buy Guru something tonight.
Rồi hôm nay ai offer 6, bữa nay một nghiên cứu là tiền 6. Dạ bữa nay
Nó thêm lại cái này nữa là thêm lại cái này là
yeah, I already did that. Because yesterday, a long time, I forget, but today. Yesterday, I returned a whole box. Yeah, very easy. You can connect with the electricity. And so just connect, we just put on. It's easy. Connect inside. Everything, yes. Because they can put here, right? Now, cool. So easy.
nhưng mà nếu mà các anh nhớ được
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We do it and I could not do it. Oh, next week after next week. Thầy cũng là cà có
Put into the freezer.
của Kim á. Đây có cả. Đây này chị nghe.
Namandang gumbo jamba yanglan chanza lo kange londe jenyen chenda nyedra namla jenyen den jejen sejen yejen tubale gomze konda se sonora mare nedom doma jeze rozo kema puche Yenloin Ruje Yonde Zon Dodra Chendo Yenloin Yenloin Legi Chadu Doze Mare Meze Doma Nyogo Jinye Jenze Rode Denen Gajen Saje Kazen Yenden Lezon Jaze Duvengo Chodaja Chunyen Jende Dalen Zenjambe Yonlande Marabazana de 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 Marabazana Marabazana de 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 Marabazana Umarabazana de Marabazana de Umarabazana de Zeden Jeje Charo Zenje Dalen Monan Barazan Kodon Denje Choro Domai Lode Bobeno Sandu Son Jejingo Ore Chingore Jansada Majeba Polo Jinja Beja Jindu Jimam Balam Demos on the watching me upon and Chanzo Jinjo Jio, Shivan and Zeranam Jedo, two Jesus and Barazedo, Vision and the Desert and Men on Rush. Sembezes and Dumber can make in the Zenjuro, Jitama, Venetia and Jitanson Japon Jabe, Doam the Monker Vision, and the end of the Jinzo and Dombo the Ranger and Andoran and Jedo. Sense of Beji and then Jombarwe, Pemanjon and Dale in the Rojo. Mongolo Dorian Devadon, Tomanian Cholan Jenda, Jananian Bozo, Zamin Jenjolan Jenda, Ajon, Gonde de Garanjanian Bengolo, and then the Jungle Wishes of the Bebina Jova, Sembrande vanta de je namaya damba laike dana dana jinge ndonda dame ge namdam dwa bunji danam jizambar amje ge do susuru te je manjun nam ge tadanya be semjen tamje namdol den dewa aname bayanda ba zobi sanje jin bhana ge chene jam ge rasha e chedo teba chimbe shuro jaze chimbo shiwa lenzebe chanju zembe joba lanjuba de ni tsushin du sene nyamso lama gyo nende samba chanju chore tu jeba da chede sensa. So the first we need to generate this awakened mind in this way, that I'm going to listening this Mahayana scripture composed by Shantideva about the way of Bodhisattva's life, and then whatsoever I understand, I'm going to put into practice for my day-to-day life. The purpose is to lead them, each and every motherly sentient beings, to complete enlightenment. That kind of intention generated, just that intention, simple, that we need to generate before we begin or enter into this meritorious activity of teaching and listening Dharma. And then, based on that intention, and then the manner or the conduct while during the listening Dharma teaching, then listen carefully in an excellent way, and then try to hold it, the meaning and its word, try to memorize it whatsoever you heard. That kind of conduct, and then listen this Dharma teaching. And then the actual teaching that we are teaching, this way of Bodhisattva's life, as which have a 10 chapter and mainly 4 themes. That first, the persons who doesn't have this awakened mind, and for them to how to have it, this awakened mind, and that guides with the 3 chapters, first 3 chapters, how to have it bodhicitta within oneself. And then next 3 chapters guiding us that once we have it, this bodhicitta, then how to protect, how to maintain, how not to transgress it. And these all guidance are guiding by this second 3 chapters. And then the third 3 chapters, that not just not transgress it, or not just maintain or protect your bodhicitta, but also that how one can increase or develop further, that until it's coming into the conclusions, that for the final how one can develop our bodhicitta until the last destiny. And that is guided by this last next 3 chapters. And then the last chapter is about dedications, that whatever we generate this bodhicitta and maintain this bodhicitta and develop the bodhicitta, through that meritorious activity, whatsoever we have merit, and then how to dedicate and to whom to dedicate. This all guidance by this last chapter. So these are the main four themes of this way of Bodhisattva's life. And then now today we are here in this second theme, that which is once one generated this Bodhisattva within oneself, which means the received Bodhisattva's vow after that, and how one can make sure to not transgress it, and in order to not transgressed, and what kind of sense we need it in order to maintain, in order to protect that mind. And then firstly, that it is saying that this sense of carefulness is important. And now in order to have this sense of carefulness to not to transgress this Bodhisattva's vow, then we need to understand that if we transgressed this Bodhisattva's vow, and what kind of consequences or what kind of fault we may need to encounter. By understanding those faults, it also can let us have some sense of careness. And then further, that Shantideva is giving us another more kind of like informations in order to have a sense of carefulness, to not to transgress this Bodhisattva's vow. But however, actually the point that even though this is kind of like a philosophy, right? Philosophy scriptures. So most of the philosophy scriptures, they provide all kinds of ideas. But you need to understand that it is not necessary that you need all of them. As long as one antidote, it makes sense for you that you can make a determination on it, and this is it. As long as you have this 100% sense of carefulness, it's done purpose. And then providing more reason, its one purpose is to confirm, more firm, to have this sense of carefulness. Yeah. And then providing more evidence or the reason is to some type of person that who is not satisfied with the one reason. They need 2, 3, 4, 5, many reasons. And for them, and it is good to give all these many different reasons why you need to be careful. But some type of person, only one reason is good enough. Some people, okay, makes sense. Okay, now this is it. They will go on determination based on that reason. So if that's the case, then rest of others, it's okay to listen. There's no problem. But the main purpose is to have a sense of carefulness, to not to transgress your Bodhisattva's vow. That's the main purpose of this whole chapter. And Shantideva is providing the many different evidence, many different reasons that why you should careful to not transgress it. But that I'm saying this, since this is philosophy scripture, so it has to has kind of like a complete antidote or complete idea that why. And they will gonna try their best to provide many different reasons. But not necessarily everyone needed this. Some people, just one reason is enough. They can make determination based on that. Okay, this is it. Yes, this is true. This is it. They will going to make a determination on that. But some type of person, one reason is not good enough, and they need more reason. They need different reason. And then also some type of person is like that. More reason will help to confirm more kind of like a 100% kind of like that. It helps us to confirm 100%. One reason maybe just help you to confirm 50%. Then next another reason, then it increasing percentage. That kind of some type of persons they're providing this many reason can work this way too. But that when we study those philosophy, we need to understand that most of the philosophy scripture they will gonna give many different reasons, many different ideas, many different antidotes. It's not necessary that you have to try each and everything, but you can. And it is also not, how to say, prohibited that you cannot try all of them either. Okay, so that is kind of like the depend on individuals, that what the really purpose can be done with the one reason or not, with the two reason or not, with the three reason or not, with the whole reason or not. If you are not making, how to say, if it is the whole complete reason, even not making you to help the sense, the regenerate the sense of carefulness, then you may need another antidote, another reason maybe. You may need some other idea. Anyhow, so the actual teaching here that yesterday we stopped at stanza number 8, right? Chapter number 4, stanza number 8, page 89. 89. So we start from this stanza number 9. So the stanza number 9 until this so far until this chapter 1 to the chapter 8, that first this chapter is describing actually in this stanza itself is very brief descriptions that talking about those precepts that which we need to maintain, or the precepts, and the things that which we need to avoid in order to not transgress our bodhisattva's vow. And then later 2 stanzas it is describing that even though that before whatever that you made promise or the pledge, but later after all those your promise and pledge are, if those promise are contradicting with this your vow, then you can reconsider. And why? And you can reconsider, and then you may think twice that shall I act or not. And mostly Shantideva then this answering was the next stanza, the stanza number 3, actually with the providing 2 reasons that it's better not to act. He's just saying that. And then later those another stanza number 4 to the stanza number 8, and so far that describing mainly the fault of transgressing your awakened mind. Now this is all talking about fault of transgressing our awakened mind. And then fault of transgressing our awakened mind, that I'm trying to making you here a little bit easy to understand. So therefore I'm dividing into, let's imagine there are 4 type of person. So the 4 type of person, that first type of person, which is transgressing his vow completely, and even he doesn't have a sense of care to repair, care to retake it again. Completely just transgress and then just forget it. That type of person, one. And then the second type of person, that he or she give up this because of maybe difficulties or whatsoever hardships, and then but not completely difficult the Dharma practice, a spiritual path, but following or the practicing the lower path. And then that is the second type of persons. This and this 2 type of persons that we already gone through yesterday. Now this from here, this stanza number 9, 10, and 11. This 9, 10, and 11 that we can consider as a 3rd type of persons. So now, in order to describe this 3rd type of persons, how it is describing is that you can imagine this based on this 3rd type of persons, that directly that 3rd type of persons showing in this stanza number 11. But before that, it is describing the fault of transgressing the awakened mind. The fault of transgressing the awakened mind. And then now, in order to understand the, how to say, this two stanza is describing the stanza number 9 and stanza number 10. This two is actually describing that how can I say? How can we estimate or how can we imagine that if we transgressed this awakened mind, if we transgress this Bodhisattva's vow, and how to estimate or how to imagine that what kind of fault we may have to face the consequences of transgressing. And this is describing by this two stanza. And then now, how it is heavy is, how it is heavy, how the consequences would be if we transgress this Bodhisattva's vow. Actually, this is also described before this first type of persons a little bit too. But here, again, that it is saying, this is stanza number 9, that how they translated. And anyone who, for a single instant, what is that? Holds the merit of Bodhisattva, and that actions could become the cause for that persons to wander endlessly in evil states. Because the reason the welfare of all beings is reduced. That because the welfare of all beings is reducing, that because you are becoming the victim or you are becoming the conditions that hurting the bodhisattvas to do some meritorious activity, which is that, okay, actually this is here, big difference here now. Normal people halting the, halting the merit of normal people and halting the merit of bodhisattvas are two different, very two different. Because halting the merit of normal beings, that normal beings usually what it means, that who have a selfish, okay, that's what I'm saying, normal being. So the normal being always concerned about him or herself, and then whatever, even though they engage into spiritual practice, they do some meritorious activity, they just do for themselves. The intention is just selfish. So therefore, halting the merit of normal person's merit, halting the merit of normal person is you are just halting the, preventing the, one single merit actually. But having the merit of bodhisattvas, which means that he is, even though he is just igniting the butter lamp, that he is igniting this butter lamp, he or she, the bodhisattva. The bodhisattva, he or she, whoever, even the igniting the one single butter lamp, that he is doing this for sake of the motherly sentient beings. And then the merit is like equal to the number of sentient beings. And then now, when you held the merit of bodhisattvas, then you are halting the number of the merit is countless. That's how it becomes, more heavier. Because the merit or demerit or kind of like a karma is how it becomes big karma, great karma, or mediocre karma, or small karma is very depend on your intentions. Very much depending on your intentions. Then those bodhisattvas, they always try to keep that intentions that whatever they do merit, they do for the sake of motherless sentient beings, and then they do for the enlightened, achieve enlightened. So indirectly, you are kind of like become a conditions to prevent that person, the bodhisattvas, to accumulate the merit, accumulate the cause of enlightenment. Therefore, it becomes more. For the ordinary, he or she is doing some merit to just to maybe like just to temporarily like a success business. So which means you are preventing to engage that person, normal person, to merit, is that you are just preventing the success of business. So the success of business, preventing, disturbing, it's compared to the preventing the cause of enlightenment, and then compared to prevent the cause of enlightenment and the preventing cause to success business is very big different result wise, so big different. That's why even though this is same action, but it could become very different result. That's what it is. So now this is what describing, it is trying to letting us, Shantideva letting us understand this, how the estimate or the imagine that what kind of consequences, that amount of, how can I say now this, the size or the amount that what will be the what do you call it, halting the merit of bodhisattvas, because that it says because the welfare of all being is reduced. Actually, every single, when you reduce, then you're reducing. You are become conditions to reduce that person's to cultivate the merit of the cause of enlightenment. Therefore, it becomes the cause to wanders endless in evil states. That's what it mentioned there. And actually, this is Shantideva. He is not just saying. Also, Shakyamuni Buddha said in the sutra that what Shakyamuni Buddha said is that, yeah, absolutely, Shantideva from beginning that he said this, right? Whatever I said in this way of Bodhisattva's life, it is not something that I'm making up here. This is not something that I am saying out of myself. I'm telling all. I didn't have any information here that which never said before, which never taught before, which means that he is trying to kind of like make a condense to easy to understand. That's the kind of like a purpose of what do you call it? This Shastra, right? Shastra. You understand Shastra? What do you call it? Buddha's teaching is called what? Huh? No Dharma. Okay. Sutra and Shastra. Right? Sutra is which Buddha he taught. Sutra is so vast. And Shastra composed. Later they are modifying. Right? Commentary. Yes, commentary. Yes, commentary. Commentary. And this is also the Shantideva, it's commentary. This is commentary. So the commentary, the purpose of commentary is actually to make it easy, the sutra. Because sutra, Buddha has to say all these things because of the different edges and the time, different follower, and he taught very vast. And sometimes it's so vast, then we lost. We don't get. And then the Shastra or the commentary trying to make it condensed and then just understand understand the point without so many reasons, without so many histories. It's just Shastras are kind of like making contents. Therefore, in many of the Shastra and histories are also their content. They just name the main theme of the history, and then like that. They just go. For example, in this Nagarjuna, the letter to a friend, that when he described this morality, and then he describing this morality, that even though you made a mistake at the beginning, you transgress all your morality, but later you understand, and then you modify it yourself, and you try to work towards the morality. That is also excellent. Just like he using 4 different history. Actually, those 4 different history, he just quotation just the name theme of the main point of the history. Just like Ungulimala, just like the king who killed his father. He doesn't describing all this history. He just taking this name of the history's main point. And then he keep continuing go. Now detail, you need to look the sutra. That's how they are trying to contain in Shastra. They are trying to contain the meaning of the sutras in the commentary. That's actually, commentary has to do this. The purpose of commentary is that, to make it more easy and make it more condensed so people can take it to the point. And then pit instruction is even more than that. Pit instructions, then it's containing so much, and then don't talk too much. That's just and then do it. No reason, no nothing, not so much evidence. They just put all in one thing and then tell you to do this. But actually, this does not mean it doesn't have evidence. This have evidence all in those sutras and all those shastras. The pit instructions evidence, if you want, shastra and sutra. And shastra's evidence we want, and then sutra. We have to go to look sutra, which is actually vast. For one person to study whole complete sutra, it's, I don't know how long it will going to take. We have, depends on how they make a volume. But however, it has over 100 volumes.
How many again?
Over 100 volumes. And then Sutra of Buddha's teaching has this kind of like 84,000, right? So one person's within one life to complete a study is little challenge. And then relying on those shastra can really give you the condensed meaning of this sutra. For example, like this way of Bodhisattva's life, it's really give us the condensed meaning of Mahayana Sutra. That Mahayana Sutra, that whatever Buddha taught, and especially this middle one. Yes, he turned 3 wheel, right? He turned 3 wheel of Dharma. The middle, 3 wheel of Dharma. So the second wheel of Dharma's teachings, it's condensed, this way of Bodhisattva's life. The second wheel of Dharma teachings is, meaning of that is condensed in this. The first wheel of Dharma teaching, second wheel of Dharma teaching, third wheel of Dharma teaching, right? So the second wheel of Dharma teachings is the way of Bodhisattva life has contents of all this meaning. Okay, so anyhow, this 9th stanza is trying to let us understand that what trying to letting us to be able to imagine that if we transgressed it, this vow, then how kind of like a how to say, I'm having a hard time to put this in words, huh? He's trying to letting us imagine that what consequences, that how much amount, what's the amount. Can I put this amount? Amount is good. What else you have?
The concept, like how huge it is.
How huge it is. Yeah.
Huge it is.
How-
Like, when we transgress and stopping the merit of a Bodhisattva comparing to the stopping the merit of a layperson.
Mm-hmm.
One layperson is so small. It's just like you killing an ant, and then when you're killing a person, it's huge, right? That kind of idea. I don't
Okay,
know.
so the huge.
I just comparing the effect, comparing the side
Effect, yeah.
the
The
impact,
what? The effect.
impact, the
The
impact,
impact, I would say impact or magnitude.
the magnitude, the impact,
Magnitude.
yeah, the magnitude.
Impact or
Magnitude.
magnitude. Magnitude is kind of like a size.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Mhm. Size of your action.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah, the magnitude.
Magnitude.
Because
Okay.
size is a physical. You can count. If you say size, what you can see the tangible. If it's intangible, we use the word magnitude.
Magnitude.
Abstract.
Okay, magnitude.
It's more for the abstract stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you see now, even you kind of like helps the merit of bodhisattvas can become that big. What do you say? Magnitude. Magnitude.
We'll have a big magnitude.
We have a big magnitude. Then
Or a big impact.
yeah,
Big
and then
impact.
big impact, and then transgressing what? This goes without saying now. Even to just preventing one instant, right here, the one what do you call it? Single instant, and anyone who for a single instant has the merit of a bodhisattvas, and that action could become cause for that person, him or herself, to wander endlessly in evil state. And reason, because the welfare of all being is reducing. Therefore, and if that the case, then transgressing bodhisattva's vow, it impact even greater than that. It goes without saying. And then also on the other hand, this oh yeah, I forgot to say this. So in a sutra, Shakyamuni Buddha also said this. That what Shakyamuni Buddha said, that he said, imagine that you are helping the somebody who is going to offer thousands of Buddhas and then thousands of different offering substance. And then you are become conditions for that persons to not to do it. You held it, that persons to not to offer it. This thousands of offering substance towards the object is thousands of Buddhas in a one hand. And then on the other hand, somebody who just did it small merit of bodhisattvas, who held it small merit of bodhisattvas. And these two things, and Shakyamuni Buddha saying, the second person, that will going to have more consequences than the first person. That's how he's using this analogy or the kind of like a example to let us imagine that what is the different consequences of your this action could be. And if that's the case, then transgressing is even much more greater, right? Likewise, this is stanza number 10, that Semjin Chigi Dewaya Shigna Dani Yamjuna Namka Mali Talebi Lucende Shigmeji Gurus. And then also the destroy a single being's joy, and you will work the ruin of yourself. If that the case, then no need to speak of bringing law, the joy of being infinite as space itself. So this stanza is actually what it is describing is now here. Again, we need to have understand clearly. This is also not that we cannot just take literally here again. destroy a single being joy. Destroying a single being's joy, that action could become cause for yourself, and you will work the ruin of yourself. What do you understand by this? Destroying a single being joy, and you will work the ruin of yourself.
It's just like you hurt your own self. Ruin is like hurting your own self.
Ruin of yourself.
Ruin.
Okay, here what you're saying, even though one single beings, if you prevent or if you destroy his joy, his happy, then that action could become the ruin yourself. Generally, this is easy to understand for the persons who have a law of causality information, right? It's common sense that action, every action has a reaction that we have confidence. Then this action is that you are ruining somebody's happy, which means the consequences or these actions reactions will going to be ruin your happy sooner or later. That's very general law of causality information which we have. And now it is not just that. But it is actually more than that. We need to understand that, and also that I told you this, you cannot take this literally, because it is not talking about any type of joy again. You cannot say this any kind of joy again. For instance, that you cannot imagine this joy that you are destroying the single being's alcohol joy. Somebody is enjoying by drug and alcohol, and you are destroying his joy. That's not including here. That's not talking about. Okay? And then somebody who is breaking his vow, Bodhisattva's vow, or the terrible Vinaya vow, or whatsoever. Breaking vow and enjoying. Breaking vow with the enjoying. And then you are destroying his happy joy. This is not talking about. You can destroy that, no problem. If that becomes the you will work the ruin of yourself, then I can tell you very clear here, then Shakyamuni Buddha becomes very big victims. Right? He is trying to destroy many of those unnecessary joy. Actually, these are not really joy, the cause of suffering. That's why he is trying to destroy. That's why he is trying to prevent us to engage. That's why I'm telling you here, you cannot take this literally, joy. Just any kind of joy is not talking about. It has to be very specific here. Joy, something improper. Improper joy. Okay? Let me tell you this one history related with this. That during the Shakyamuni Buddha time, when he was in Sharvasti, that some of we went last year, Sharvasti, that where this very rich, his sponsor is residing, that the rich generosity person who always wants to generous practice. And Shakyamuni Buddha did it 21 times summer retreat in that land, that location. When he was reciting on that Sharvasta, that within the Sharvasta, there's one family very rich householder. So rich, they have an immense of wealth. And then this householder, the husband and wife, they have 5 daughters. They have 5 daughters. And they don't have any son. And those all 5 daughters are very beautiful, very intelligent, very capabilities. And then later that the mother, the wife, became pregnant. Later the wife became pregnant, and then meanwhile husband passed away. Husband passed away, but the wife became pregnant that she have a womb. And then during that Shakyamuni Buddha's time, the law of the kingdom, it's that if any kind of family, if they doesn't have any male, then whole wealth will going to take care by king. Whole wealth take care by the king. Yeah. Actually, this family have a 5 very great daughter, actually, intelligent, capable, beautiful. But those 5 daughters cannot become the owner. Little discriminating, but this is at that time. This is the law that's going on at that time. And then the king of this region, he is also very honest, and he is also very kind, very honest and kind king. He is ruling his kingdom very well, honest way, not just being a bossy. Okay, he is ruling very nice his kingdom. Luckily, fortunately. And then what happened? And then now king thought, okay, now this householder is passed away. Now there's no any that who can host all this wealth. And then he sent one minister to count all their wealth, how much they have. And then the king will take care. Actually, it is kind of like the Canadian system, actually. And providing welfare, giving monthly, every month, like. This is kind of like that system, actually. Because they think if there's no any male, then can be disturbed by anything easily. Right? We don't, at that moment, don't have that kind of today's security, right? Imagine that one too. It little makes sense. We don't, at that moment, they don't have this good system security, right? And then normally it's difficult to protect being a female from the kind of like a male against, right? Against to the male is difficult for the female. That's the another reason, actually. Anyway, so that kind of discrimination is there. In short, that kind of discrimination is there at that moment. And then king sent one minister to count all their wealth. So king actually is not just going himself and taking all things, letting somebody to count, and they know how much they are. And then accordance with that he can do later, right? And then when they went to count, and then those 5 daughters requested king that yes, we understand this is our law of kingdom, but yet that our mother has another womb, so we don't know yet whether this is male or female. So can you please wait until this baby delivered? Then if it is female, you can come and take it. If it is male, then that becomes the owner of wealth. And then king, as I told you, fortunately king is honest and kind, and he said, okay, yes, you are true, then I'll wait until your mother gave birth. And then when mother gave birth, the baby, and baby born like a bow. No eye, no nose, no limbs, no hand, no feet, just like a bow, but has this sign of mouth. That has a sign of male, that proving that he is male. Other than that, it is unrecognizable. Just born like a bow, doesn't have any shape, like a human shape. But somehow that boy has a male sign, and therefore those 5 daughters and they not noticed to king that they born as a male, and then they showed to the king, and king watched it, and then king watched, and king said, okay, king is also very honest, right? And honest and true. That he said, okay, well, he doesn't have an eye, he doesn't have a nose, he doesn't have a limbs, hand, anything, just like a ball. But anyhow, he had this sign of the male. And eye, nose, limbs doesn't really make male. So this is the only thing can prove the male. So okay, this is male, and he just let it be. He didn't took it anything. And then that boy become owner of this wealth, very rich, and they didn't lose anything. And then later, this the oldest daughter, she went to she married, and she went out. And then when she towards her husband, she is being so nice, over nice, and she is taking care everything of this husband. And husband also got very amazed by providing this all service. She is a wife, right? And then she just acting like a servant. She's doing everything that whatever she can do to serve her own husband. And husband got very amazed. And one day husband asked her that husband and wife, it's not only us. There are many husband and wife. Those other wives are not doing like that. But why you are doing like this to me? You are too taking care to me. He amazed by himself. And then this lady replied, because of this, she had this experience of, she understood the sum of kind of like a, how can I say now, this is importance of the man. She had this experience, right? That's truth actually. His truth is story actually. Okay, it happened. It happened in the past. And then she explained everything why. Because of that, in short, that what Ma saying, the importantness of male, she had this experience. Therefore, she's doing all these things. And she also said very detailedly to him too, why she is doing all these things. And then he got very amazed. And then he understood, because of this boy, right? This very ugly boy, very ugly bald boy, they didn't lose wealth. And he amazed. And he also see a little bit of importantness of male. And then he asked her, let's go to the Shakyamuni Buddha and ask why and how this has happened to your family. And then they went to Shakyamuni Buddha and then they asked questions. Why this son, in a one hand, he is super lucky because he became rich with the bomb. He have everything as soon as he born, right? But on the other hand, he is very unfortunate because he don't have any limbs or any these faculties properly, just like a wall. What is this? How it could happen? And then Shakyamuni Buddha said, well, you asked very good questions. So now listen carefully, I will tell you why. And then he is telling his story that there is a one, village, region. There was a two boy. That one his name is generous and another his name is moral. Both generous and moral. Generous and moral. Moral. Morality, moral. They named, right? We also named that we name that Jimba, Tsutim. In Tibetan, we have many Jimba, many Tsutim, right? Many Tsutim. Tsutim is moral, right? So, what do you call it? That the two boys, and both are naturally have so kind and like to help others, like to generous so much, both of them. And both of them are kind of like a brutally honest, very honest. They even shy to lie, small things. They never lie. And therefore, when these two boys grow, and then even the king of that region pointed these two boys to become a third person. Third person, when somebody loan each other. And during those times, we don't have like this system of the lawyer and this things, right? They point out somebody, some important, some honest person to become a witness, third person, witness. And these two men, when they grow, king pointed them as a witness for this village, that whoever borrowing something each other, then they both has to go to them and to put them as a witness, and then they give each other that you see I gave, and later he have to give to me. The borrowing system. He is the kind of like a lawyer actually now. Evidence, witness. And then one time they both doing this. This is their kind of like a job. They're doing this. And then one day, what happened? Someone wants to go to the ocean to get the jewels and jade, but he needs finance. And then he came to the moral, because moral has some wealth. He is also rich. And he came to moral to borrow money. Now moral, he cannot be himself witness, right? And then what he decided, and he have one son. Okay, moral have one son. Generous doesn't have son yet. Moral has one son. And then what he did, he thought, okay, now we need to go to generous, because he have to be our witness. Now I cannot be myself witness. I'm borrowing you. I cannot be myself witness. So now I have to go to my younger brother to ask him to be a witness of our this law. And then he is smart. He also took his son together. He thought, my son right now it is so young, so he will not going to be able to take care of this wealth. And later I will borrow right now to this person, and later he grow, he can give him back. If I am die, in case. That's how they're preparing, right? Today also we're preparing that way too. Anyway, and then they went to generous, and then they asked generous to be a witness of that. And then son is also together there. And then that person's borrowed so much wealth from the moral, and then he went to ocean. And then so long, it takes very long. And then unfortunately, that person is merchant. That merchant is not successed. They break the boat, and then he merely he can survive himself. Forget about getting all the jewels and chain. He merely able to survive himself, to able to come back after many days. Meanwhile, that moral unfortunately passed away. Moral passed away. But son knows about this. Son is young, but he knows about this. And then this merchant came to the village, and then this merchant the son saw this merchant with the very poor. And then son thought that maybe if I ask now, it is useless. He doesn't have anything. So why I should ask? It's useless to ask. So just let it be now. And then son doesn't say anything to that man, merchant. And then merchant, he prepared again. He borrowed again from somebody else, money. And then he went again to the ocean to get the jewels, gem. That second time, he was successful. He got a lot of jewels and he got a lot of gems. And then he came back. And then when he came back, now this is a couple of years after, many years after now. And son is also grow. Son is also grow. He is also coming back. This is now many years after. You need to imagine like this, okay? Even though we are telling this history within a few minutes, but it is actually talking about one person's life. And then when he come back to this region or village, and then he's riding the horse, and he wear the nice clothes in a market. And then that son saw, oh, he have a nice gentleman suit. Not really gentleman suit at that time, I don't think so. But however, he have a nice clothes. Maybe at that time, gentleman suit equal to these things. I think what do you call it? Christian. The Guru Rinpoche wear this. What do you call it? The colorful Christian, in Tibetan Christian. When we say Christian, then you are rich. We consider when you have a cloth made it out of Christian, then you are standard. Right? I think Vietnam also has this. Vietnam is also clothes, some very special cloth that made it out with the flowers and yeah, like that. Maybe Jennifer, Africa also has some special clothes, African tradition. What do you have?
Okay, I think I know what you're talking about.
I know that name. This comes in when we imagine Guru Rinpoche, right? What he's wearing is like this. What do you call it? This cloth. In Tibetan we call Christian, right? Christian. In English, that what they call. The colorful cloth, and it is thick, made with the hand, made out of hand, right? And thick, heavy. Anyhow, so now I didn't got it that name. Actually, we have in Guru Yoga. Anyhow, so he is wearing like that, very nice clothes, and riding the horse, and then wandering in the market. And he is kind of like checking whether that son knows or not. He's checking because before he met him, right, he didn't say anything. Right? And at that time, second time, he thought maybe this boy forgot. He's so young, that's why he forgot. He don't remember. Now to check whether he remember or not, he wear this nice clothes, he ride the horse, and to see whether he remember or not. And when he show like that, yes, he remembers. And then he sent letter to somebody. He didn't say directly. He's little hesitating, I think, right? He doesn't need to hesitate, but normally some human do that. Anyhow, he did it that anyhow. He sent a letter through the person instead of going himself to ask him. Through person, he sent a letter that, oh, do you remember that you have borrowed from my father that. Now, if you have money, please return me. And then now he understood that he knows, he remembers. And then what he had, it's not enough to give back. He loaned so much that what he had, it's not sufficient. If he give everything, he become poor. That's why he doesn't want to give everything. Now, not giving everything, there's no way, right? He's asking now. And then he kind of he went to this generous house. Now at that time, generous also has already one son, but very small, crawling son. Generous has just one son who is able to crawl. And then he went to generous home, and then he is trying to convince his wife. That merchant trying to convince his wife. And he gave one jewel to his wife. And then he is saying, could you please tell your husband to lie this time, that you don't know anything about this loan. Say, just tell that you don't know anything about this loan. And then wife told him that my husband will not going to do this because my husband is so honest and so kind and never lied until now. He will not going to listen. And he begged to his wife, please do it. And somehow this wife got some jewel, and she has also little greed to that jewel too. She wants to keep this. And she said, okay, I will try. And then later, when husband returned to home, and then she tried. When she tried, the husband refused. The husband said, no way that I will going to tell this. I remember this. I'm not going to say I don't remember. I'm not going to say this has not happened. And tomorrow he came again when husband is out, and he came again to generous home to see what wife had news. And then when he got to the home, wife gave this jewel back and said, my husband is, I cannot convince my husband. And then again he gave like another 30 kind of like a gold, more, another 30 gold. Now this is kind of like a under table. He's doing under table. What? He's doing bribery too. He's trying to convince his wife. Through wife, he's trying to convince husband. This is kind of like happening a lot in this world, right? In this world, everywhere this kind of things is happening. This things is not new. This kind of things is doing still ongoing. It is not new. It is very old. It is very old tradition. Anyway, so however, he gave another 30 gold and tried to convince her husband. And then now she became more greedy than before because she got more wealth. Another 30 points of gold. She got it. Now she also felt that I must try to do this. And then she strongly tried to convince her husband. Still, she cannot really convince. And then, kind of like she got so, what do you call it? She pretend that she got so mad, and then she said that I am hoping that you will gonna listen even if I tell you to die. I'm hoping, I have that hope that you take care of me so much, you love me so much that even I will ask you to die for me, you will gonna die. But that's not the case here. Now I understand. She's now kind of like trying. That's how some people do, right? This is what you call it. You do. Huh? Cunning. Yes, cunning. Yes, cunning. She is cunning now. There. She is cunning. Try to convince him by saying all these things. She said, I thought that you can sacrifice your life for me. Now I understood that even you cannot single life for me. How you can sacrifice your life for me? Now I understood that. She's kind of like a cunning and trying to making big deal of this. Right? So he listened. Even he is not listening. Even he is ignoring. And then now she have no any other idea, another method than saying this. And she said, if you don't lie this time for me, then I'm gonna kill this our son, and I'm gonna die myself after. Now you choose, lie or let two of us die. She made it kind of like very strange situation. She made it like a so strange situation. And then husband somehow he agreed. He thought that, oh, I don't want to lose my son. If I lose my son, then there will be no owner of my wealth. Right? That kind of worry, not just that worry, but also many worry too, right? Being a son, who can sacrifice the son, right? That kind of things. Many things is involved there. So therefore, he is not able to let go of the son. Actually, he doesn't understand that his wife is cunning. Actually, she will not going to do that, right? Being a mother will not going to do that to her own son, right? But somehow he felt it that she might going to do this if I don't lie. Then somehow he agreed that I will going to do this. And then tomorrow he merchant come again. And then wife said, yes, he's agreed. He's agreed now. You can. He will going to tell lie. And then merchant happy. And then he went back. And then next morning he come with the more. He came in a market. Greater than before. He's riding elephant now. He's riding elephant. And then he's writing all this, wearing this all ornaments and showing all the wealth. And then that son saw at that time again. Actually, he already sent one letter. He didn't respond anything so far. And then now son thought it's better for me to go and talk. Second time. And also he also thought, well, now he is so rich, he can give my loan back. And then he went himself to talk with him. And when he went there, asked his loan, he pretend like, what? Somebody strange is coming and saying something strange. He showed like that to him. He showed like that we don't know who is this boy. He pretending that I don't know who you are. He's pretending that what loan are you talking about? I don't remember. And then to show like that, some people doing right. What are you talking about? Like that. He did it. And then son got so hesitation again. What? You don't remember? And then son said, if you don't remember, that's okay, but my uncle remembered. We have our uncle witness. And then he said, well, then we go ask your uncle. We go ask your uncle. And when I learned from your father. And then they both went together to his uncle. Because he already arranged everything, right? Now they're going to the uncle. And then when the merchant and both the son asked, it, uncle, do you remember that my father loaned to him like this? Then uncle said, no, when? I don't remember. Then now son doesn't have any other witness now. He lost all witness. Now son will not gonna get loan back. And then he got so mad on his own uncle. And he said like this, you, my uncle, is considering so honest and kind. Therefore, you are appointed by king as a witness for this village. Now, even you are lying to your own nephew, right? Nephew. Then how you will not going to lie for others? Actually, I forgot one other things too, that how this merchant convinced the wife and husband. That he also said very nice thing. You see, second time when he gave this 30 coins of gold, he said, just for the single lie, you are getting all this gold. If you tell truth, this is your nephew. He will not going to give even one gold to you. You're not going to get anything. You are lie single, you get all this. Even you tell truth, you won't get even one single of coin of gold. So what's the point of telling truth here? That's how he convinced too. Actually, before that, I should tell you before that. Now his story is a little bit in unordered. But anyhow, then now son got so mad. Now he lost all his wealth. And then he lied. Actually, the generous, he also said this before to his own wife, that if I lie and later it becomes like that I'm a liar, and this is okay, but more that I will going to face is the future life, my consequences so bad, therefore I don't want. But somehow she can't, and she can't. Yeah. You said before.
She used the word cunning.
Cunning.
Perhaps a better word is manipulative.
Manipulate. Yeah. She manipulate her husband. Right. She manipulate her husband. Therefore, he lost his control. Right. And then he lied, and then son lost everything. Okay. And then Shakyamuni Buddha, actually Shakyamuni Buddha telling all this story to these two couple, these two husband and wife. They went to Shakyamuni Buddha to ask this question. And then now Shakyamuni Buddha saying, that happened before. And after that, the generous, when he passed away, he fell in hell because of this. And even he did a lot of generosity. And even when he able to come out of hell, he born as a human, but like this ball. Many times, like this ball. Doesn't have any limbs, doesn't have any eye and faculties. You're making connection with this history, right? Mm-hmm. And this is him. This boy who born as a ball, this is generous, his continuous life. Because of this one, this is now here, you see here. This is how related with this stanza. And destroying a single being's joy. Okay? Destroying a single being's joy, and you will work the ruin of yourself. That's how he ruined himself. He destroyed he destroyed the single being's joy, right? Actually, that son if he get all this finance, this is very good for his survival, right? That type of things now we need to make clear here. But it is not talking about every joy, okay? That type of joy, which is honest, right? Which is truth, that this all wealth belongs to him. And now he destroyed his joy, right? That type of joy, destroying joy. And then also we can understand like this joy, kind of like which are very necessary for our survival. For let's say the food, shelter, right? Clothes, destroying those joys, and can become that bad. Not necessarily destroying the joy of hate it. You know what I mean? Somebody hates somebody, and then when that person gets hurt, kind of happy is not, you are not destroying the joy of others. You understand what I'm saying? Okay, for example, Dang hate Ani, for example, let's say Dang hate Ani, Dang jealous about Ani, okay? And then now, if I provide some support to Ani, Dang will not going to be happy. Okay, so my action, helping, supporting Ani, is indirectly destroying Dang's joy, right? Isn't it? Isn't it? Carefully look here. That's happening a lot, isn't it? When I support Ani, my support action to Ani becomes conditions to destroy the Dang's joy. That now it is not talking about here. Okay, destroy a single being joy and you will work the ruin of yourself. It is not talking about that at all. You don't need to worry about that things. We sometimes unnecessarily worry that, right? When I help him, he got mad. And what to do? Okay, when I help you, he got mad. That's his problem. He has to change this. He or she has to change this, right? It is not something I'm destroying your joy. You are destroying your own joy. I'm just helping somebody. But unfortunately, that's somebody you don't like. That's why maybe it hurts you.
But on that situation, the way you do, the anger in him increase. It's not good for us.
No, that's he have to take care of his own angry. What I can, okay, then I stop helping you.
That doesn't make sense.
I stop helping you then. It's not the case, right? That's what I'm saying here. This destroy a single being joy. You cannot think this joy, destroying this type of joy is here. No. That's why I'm saying this. Literally, don't take it this. With every joy, every kind of joy, it is not including here. And then also I said, right? The person who is having drug, and you are preventing, you are trying to stop him to have a joy, have a drugs, which means actually you are destroying his joy, right? If you goes this literally, destroy a single being joy, means if you rob or stop somebody's having drugs, actually you are destroying single being's joy, isn't it? Isn't it? But that's not the case here. That's not Shandadeva what it means. Therefore, I'm telling you here, this don't take as a literally. Take as this history. This history tells us how it becomes that you are destroying somebody's joy. That way, you are destroying somebody's joy. Okay?
Bất chính là không sao là không bị tội.
And also how I want to tell you here this we make many mistakes, yes. We make many mistakes about these things. That we think, oh, I'm just showing his joy, so which is bad. So I have to make him happy. No. You are making wrong happy to that person. That's not good either. You give drugs and make him happy and avoid the destroying his joy. That's not the right way. Likewise, any kind of things like you giving kind of like anything, like how to say, some people just doesn't like that person, and you are kind of like letting them not disturb that person, right? Letting them not disturb that person, which means you are destroying his joy. He enjoy if he can disturb her, right? Isn't it? For example, this same. Don't hate you, Ani, which means if don't get a chance to disturb you, don't happy. Then I am coming in the middle. I'm preventing them to disturb you, which means now it looks outlook. I'm destroying Dan's joy, isn't it? I'm destroying Dan's joy because Dan feel joy when he able to disturb you, but that's not the case. Likewise, disturbing and stealing and lust, right? Sexual misconduct, preventing sexual misconduct, and preventing lie, preventing alcohol, drugs. These are, you are not really destroying others' joy. Actually, you are really making, helping, supporting. This is not, you cannot take this as a destroy, it's not a joy. That's why I'm saying this. Literally, don't take it here, right? And people can get this misunderstanding. And we Tibetan also has this misunderstanding too. But we have this saying, Semjen Gana Chere. See, Semjen Gana Chere. What it means actually? I'm saying, as long as you make other beings happy, that's Dharma. We have saying in Tibetan, Shen Gana Chere. That other happy, that's Dharma. Actually, no. It is not all the happies, right? It's clear. You cannot make others happy with the using wrong method. And then that become Dharma. Now actually this history that he is making happy his own wife, isn't it? History which I told you, he's making happy his wife. But that didn't become Dharma. That became very bad karma for him to consequence all these things. If just making other happy is Dharma, then his action lying should be the Dharma. Because he made his wife happy. And not just wife. Also that he made this merchant happy too. 2% happy. 1% mad, but 2% happy. He made 2% happy, isn't it? Merchant happy, wife happy. Therefore, just making other happy is not necessary Dharma. Okay? In Tibetan, we also have this misunderstanding, and also we have this saying. We just say, Shen Gana Chere. Shen Gana Chere. Shen means other, right? Gana means happy, joy. Chere means Dharma. Re means yes, is, right? Other happy, Dharma. Making other happy is Dharma. We have this saying. Making other happy is Dharma. That very misunderstanding is there. Not necessarily making other happy. Making other happy is Dharma. Anyway, so this is how here. destroying a single being joy, and you will work the ruin of yourself. That's how you will ruin of yourself. If that single thing is like that, then no need to speak of bringing law, the joy of being infinite as space itself now. Right? Can you understand? This is easy, right? Now Shantideva is letting us compare. If that one single small action can produce that big result, then no need to speak of bringing law, the joy of being infinite as space itself. So the transgressing your vow is that. Actually, you are kind of like a what do you call it? Deceiving numberless of being. You are lying numberless of being. He lied to one person, right? That husband lied to one person, which is his own nephew. That destroy one person's happy could produce that kind of great consequences. Then, transgressing Bodhisattva vow, you are lying to numberless of being. Isn't it? Before you made a commitment, you promised that I will help all of sentient beings. Now, you're not doing it. You transgressed. That means now you're lying to countless number of beings. So now that's how his Shantideva is trying to letting us imagine that how big consequences could be by transgressing this Bodhisattva vow. So which means in short, what Shantideva was really trying to telling us here within this 2 stanza is transgressing Bodhisattva vow is so heavy. That's the short. Okay, in short, this 2 stanza, what he is trying to let us understand is transgressing your Bodhisattva's vow, it's great mistake. And it will going to give you a great consequences. And that next stanza is actually showing the third type of person, as I told you, right? That how it is showing here. And those who circle in samsara, mixing powerful downfalls, which is transgressing Bodhisattva's vow, and then with the power of bodhicitta, he is repairing again, taking again Bodhisattva's vow. Okay? Transgressing, taking again. Transgressing, taking again. Transgressing, taking again. Mixing powerful downfalls with the power of bodhicitta back and forth. Will long be hindered from the Bodhisattva's ground. Bodhisattva's ground. Actually, I think they translated this ground, sa. It is actually talking about bhumi. It will long be hindered from the Bodhisattva's bhumi. In order to achieve the bhumi level of Bodhisattvas, that third type of person, it will going to take very long. It will, because of your transgressing Bodhisattvas, will going to delay your achievement. Okay, that is the third type of person. Now, who transgressed, but at least he's repairing, he's taking again. It's better than the first 2, actually. It is better than the first 2, but still there is some disadvantages there. you will going to stay long in this samsara. It will going to take long for us to achieve those Brahma stage. But on the other hand, this is much better than the first two type of person. That's for sure. Right? It's much better than the first two type of person. The first type of person transgress and do nothing. And that's worse. And then second type of person, he transgress, but at least he's trying something else. Now the third type of person, he's keep trying again and again. He's losing, but he's keep trying. Losing, trying, losing, trying, losing, trying, again and again. And because of this losing actions, will make you to delay to achieve what you really can achieve by practicing this path of Bodhisattva. That actually the path of Bodhisattva, for example, let's say that actually someone who genuinely properly practice Bodhisattva's path, let's say that Bhumi can achieve within 10 years. And if you do this back and forth, it will going to make 1,000 years. Right? Within 10 years, we're going to prolong to the 1,000 years. This is example. That's what it is saying. But still, it is better than first two type of person. And then the last type of person, and so according to my promise, I will act attentively. Now, this 12th stanza, this first two line is actually showing the fourth type of person. So understand all this downfall and try not to transgress. And try to maintain your Bodhisattva's power without transgressing. Now that's the best one, the fourth type of person. If any of us can do this one, that's the best one now. Now, Shantideva, okay, kind of like now, which type of person we want to be, it's up to us now. We want to be the first type of person, we want to be the second type of person, we want to be the third type of person, or we want to be the fourth type of person. Right? Fourth type of person is practically, it is more harder. Yes, it is harder. But at least, if we are not being able to be the fourth type of person, but at least we can be the third type of person. Back and forth, right? That we can be. Isn't it? Don't go to the first and second type of person. Try to stay with this third type of person or the fourth type of person. Try, put your heart, put your best to be a fourth type of person. But if not, then be a third type of person. It will prolong your destiny, but at least, because we study this, why it is saying powerful, right? With the power of Bodhicitta, the power of Bodhicitta we already studied during the first chapter, right? First chapter. Do you want me to remind again? The first chapter, stanza number 8 that we read yesterday. Those who wish to crush the many sorrow of existence, who wish to quell the pain of living beings, who wish to have an experience of myriad joys, should never turn away from Bodhicitta. Bodhicitta has this potential, right? So you are taking back again, you are creating this cause. But you transgressing, you are doing what? You are doing this stanza now. You are doing this 10th stanza. Transgressing, you are doing this 10th stanza. Destroying a single being joy, and you will work the ruin of yourself. And no need to speak, bringing low the joy of being infinite as space itself. You see, you're repeating these two things again and again. Transgressing, you're doing this. And taking again Bodhisattva vow, and then you're doing that. Another one, this chapter number 8, what it is talking about. You're this back and forth. These two you are doing back and forth. Right? And also you can see this one. That chapter number 6 as well. Virtue thus is weak, and always evil is of great and overwhelming strength. Except for the perfect bodhicitta, what other virtue is there that can lay it low? Chapter 1, 6 stanza. Actually, all this 6, 7, 8, 9, it's all talking about its potential, bodhicitta's potential. Which means you are doing this back and forth. Right? Generate bodhicitta, take bodhisattva's vow again. You are doing all these things. You are getting all this potential beneficial. But transgressing on the other hand, and you are going to do this right now, this carefulness chapter number 4, 10 stanza. Right? You understand this? Clear. Destroying a single being joy, and you will work the ruin of yourself. If that the case, no need to speak of bringing low the joy of being infinite as space itself. You're doing this two back and forth. One hand, very powerful cause you are accumulating. On the other hand, very powerful downfall you are doing it. So this too powerful. That's why it is saying mixing powerful downfall with the power of bodhicitta. See, right? Transgressing is very powerful mistake. But on the other hand, generating bodhicitta again is very powerful too. Now you are kind of like a back and forth, too powerful. That's why it is delaying. That what really could achieve by practicing Bodhisattva's path, which we are not being able to achieve accordance with its purity, because we are transgressing. Let's say purity is normally, if one could practice properly, within 10 years could achieve first bhumi, then mixing with the transgressing, making you 1,000 years, right? And that's how it's delaying. But at least better than first and second type of person. Absolutely. So, however, what really suggesting for us to try is the fourth type of person. If we are not being able to do the fourth type of person, at least don't go below the third. Right? Even though you need to do back and forth, better to do back and forth, rather than being a second type of person and the first type of person. So according to my promise, I will act attentively. If you do that, then that's the fourth type of person. Very best. Then you will going to achieve the bhumi, the destiny of Bodhisattva's path within 10 years. Whatever it's 10 years, it's 10 years. You will going to take only 10 years to achieve that. If you do that, fourth type of person. If you be like a fourth type of person. Now after describing all this, it's our choice. And Shantideva with this, and Shantideva also describing the fault of transgressing. So understand the fault of transgressing actually help us to have a sense of carefulness to not to let transgress. That's the point now. I told you at the very beginning, right? Through this reason, if you get it, the sense of carefulness, then it's done. Then you don't need later evidence, later reasons. If this reason is not good enough for you to make a firm, then you may need rest of others reasons that later Chandradeva. Again, as I told you, being this kind of scripture, normally we're going to give all idea, all information. It's not necessary that we have to pick all of them. We just pick the first one. If first one is working for you, it's finished. Purpose is done. Main purpose is to have a sense of carefulness, to not to transgress. Right? As long as we get that point, the purpose of fourth chapter is done. But listening, again, more information on other reasons can help us to have a more firm. Or maybe not necessarily all those reasons make sense to you too. Right? Because of different people makes sense different reason. This reason maybe makes sense for you. Another reason maybe not make sense for you. But another reason may make sense for somebody else. Anyway, so we just stop here. And if you have question, we can discuss.
Yeah, yesterday you say about 20. 20 point.
20 downfall.
20 downfall. That according to Bodhicharyavatara Sutra, that the sutra is called. They have 61 volumes. Okay? They have 61 volumes, and that's volume. Okay? Volume. Okay? Volume. And 120 volume and 61. That's two particular kind of written up here in temple. And that's you can look at in Theravada Sutra. That is called Dignaga Nikaya. Dignaga Nikaya.
Okay.
And the Vietnamese, they translated it, they call Phạm Vọng, okay, Kinh Phạm Vọng. Yeah. But that's it's not translated. That's called 10 primary precepts and 48 secondary precepts. It's totally 58.
So that's not talking about this Bodhisattva.
Yeah, Bodhisattva. Yeah, that's the Sakyamuni teaching. All the Mahajana are based on that.
And there's no 20 then.
Yeah,
Only
not
10
20.
wrote down.
Yeah.
10 wrote down.
Yeah. Mahajana and all.
Accordance with this, Nagarjuna, Shantideva, they have this 20 wrote down.
Maybe different.
Anyway, so in Tibetan we have this within 2 pages. You don't need to look like 60 volumes.
Yeah, but that is very long. But in Mahajana they have just
But Sutra has a little long, yes.
very long.
Shastra is
Mahajana, we practice only one volume. That's from Kumara Jiva, the one translation. That very famous master.
Oh. You got it?
I got the idea,
Good.
but I'm not going to go there. I don't have time. I'll go for the 20 that you have. 2 pages is enough.
2 pages is enough, but not translated yet, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe translated.
They must have had it in English.
Huh?
Maybe translated in 84,000.
Oh, yes.
Is it in the Ganju?
Yeah, Kanjur essentially should be there. Absolutely. Yeah. But however, I think they translated this The commentary of Way of Bodhisattva's life, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
They have, huh?
I need
English, no? The, what do you call it? The commentary of Way of Bodhisattva's life.
Yeah, that's a from the what? Bifam.
Not Mifam. Kembo Kun, but not Kembo Kun. How can I forget this?
Yamjong Control.
No. It's not coming now. Just let it be. Yeah, Kembo Kunpal. Kembo Kunpal commentary. Shenga or Kunpal? Shenga, I think Shenga or Kunpal commentary. It has this. If that is translated into English, then you can find that. 2 pages. Then you go.
And the other thing is one concern. If the people they try they really want to take the little vow to practice or practicing in daily life. How can they try to get those things from the master? How can they have it? They have to do anything to have that vow from master. How can they get it? In Vajrayana. Yeah.
Vajrayana?
How can they dedicate for their whole life for practice when they take out all the precept? Nobody. We like people from our they say, okay, Bodhisattva, vow is very, very profound, and now how can they voluntarily to take that vow into practice? It's not,
How one can take it that practice?
they can.
Yeah,
But
that's
seriously. It's not you read this and you can take this.
Yeah.
Okay, but
Yeah.
the other way.
Yeah.
Officially in Vajrayana tradition.
Yeah. Okay. Then I told you this 4 immeasurable practice and 6 perfection practice. Right? 4 immeasurable and 6 perfection. If you practice that, then that will going to help you to keep all those precepts in your day-to-day life.
That's still very.
No, you can divide it, Sometimes you just meditate and contemplate on loving kindness, sometimes compassion, sometimes equanimity, sometimes joy, and sometimes practice generosity. When you go outside, practice generosity. When you see some beggars, practice generosity. And when you are free, staying in home, practice morality. Right? Practice morality. And then when you go out, also you can practice patience. When you go to the company job or whatever, you can practice patience. And when you are alone, you can also do meditation. Right? Then wisdom and diligent. The diligent itself actually doesn't have any specific actions. Okay? 6 prajna paramita, right? 6 prajna paramita, diligent itself doesn't have a specific action. It is you are doing generous with the interest. That's religion. I would say, decide the morality, keep moral with the interest, with the willingly, that's religion. And patient with the interest, it's religion. And meditate with the interest, it's religion. And have a confidence with the religion, it's what's that? Interest with the it's religion. Right?
No. My question is not about that. Like.
And meditating, sometimes meditating selflessness and emptiness. That's are the wisdom practice. So you can do all this different practice in a different time. When you want to do emptiness meditation, you do emptiness meditation. When you want to do selfless meditation, you do selfless meditation. When you want to do shamatha, you just do shamatha. When you want to go outside, do patient practice together with the generous practice too. And when you are just staying alone, practice the morality. And also you can, sometimes if you feel bored, you can meditate loving kindness. Not necessarily all the time shamatha and emptiness, right? Sometimes you meditate loving kindness. And sometimes compassion. That's how, if you keep yourself in within those, and that itself will help you to maintain all those precepts.
Yeah, in Mahajana, to check the Bodhisattva vow, should we have the Bodhisattva ceremony? Okay. And all those things you have to officially check it. And I don't know, it's in Bodhicharyavatara we have like this big ceremony, very seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if Bodhicharyavatara we have that too, right?
Yeah.
Oral tradition. What else?
No. Guru Yoga. Guru Yoga is the one.
Yeah, that's all, right?
Yeah, Guru Yoga is the one that you are taking the Vajrayana vow again with the four empowerment.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then with the four empowerment, this Guru Yoga. Here, every Sunday, actually, we are repairing both.
Yeah.
Every Sunday, we repair Bodhisattva vow, we repair Vajrayana vow.
Yeah. So, is that correct? No. I mean like this. That's it, you practice. Here, from beginning, you in Mahajana, you have to check officially what the time, the section, between you and master. Like he gives you the vow, okay, you repeat it and portray it.
Yeah.
Take one vow. Next, they read it, second vow, you read it, repeat it, like I check review. And you portray it.
Yes.
And which one you don't want to take it? Oh, master, I don't want to take it, but I cannot take it. Okay, next. Seriously like that. But that's why I'm asking you. But then we have anything like that or different way, like we practice in Sunday, like we practice. But the Bodhisattva ceremony between master and student. You have to take one by one, seriously. The master read it out and you listen it. You want to take it or not? Take it. And promise and portray it. Just like that. It's not,
Yeah, okay. That one, I don't think Vajrayana has this choice. Vajrayana comes with every precepts. You cannot skip. No, this tone. No, this tone. And I don't think you can skip.
Some students they say, okay, this I become my career, I cannot do this, that, but I'll try. He said, okay, try. And this means you just try. But when you take Bodhisattva vow, officially you have to do it. No excuse. No excuse. Some masters so kind. Say, okay, you're going to take 48, 58 vow. Okay, I'll let you take. But okay, which one you don't want to take? Okay, don't promise in front of me. Just say, okay, I'll try. Okay. And when you transgress it, it means you
Yeah.
okay, do it. That's it.
Vajrayana. Actually, we do have in Vajrayana like those. No, but still, I don't think it is. It can be choose. No, it comes with it. I think.
Like some master, they take the refuge for student. And you have to take 5 precepts.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
some students say,
And they
okay,
have
master,
a choice.
no, I cannot,
Yeah, they have a choice.
Okay, I'll give you five precepts. Okay, one this precept, try to avoid it. Okay, but okay, I'll let you refuse to do that. Okay, okay. It doesn't mean I'm okay with you, but you must be take care of it. But don't be
Mhm. Okay, anyway. So that's it, window.
yeah.
Dedicate. Sunam de Kamje Zibani, Domne Nibe, Danam Kamjene, Shiga Nanchi, Wallo Chubai, Sibe Zole, Loa Doa Shu, Jambal Pawe, Chitara Kimbana, Kundo Sambo, De and Dejimbe, the Dakundi, Jesu Daloji, Deva Dida, Domo, Deva De Sheo, Sunam Yeshe, Sozon, Sunam Yeshe, Lechon, Amba. Obarasho, Sanjay Kusum Yebe, Shimama, Penny Mingur Dembe, Shimama, Yendin Meche, Dembe, Jidaramo, Narandabarasho. Read it. By this beneficial activity, may I obtain permission, and having vanquished the harmful enemy, greed, anger, delusion, may I liberate all being tossed about helplessly by the waves of birth, aging, illness, and death in the ocean of becoming. By conforming to the knowledge of courageous Manjushri, Jamboya, and in the same way as Samindabhata, Kundusambo, and following their example, I dedicate perfectly all this virtue. By this virtue may all being perfectly achieve the accumulation of merit, sona, and wisdom, yeshe, and may they thereafter obtain the two holy bodies which result from these two accumulations. By the blessing of the Buddha, Sangye, who obtained the three bodies, by the blessing of the immutable truth of the Dharmata, Chunyi, by the blessing of the infallible aspirations of the Sangha, Gyenin, may this prayer of dedication be accomplished just as it is.